News. Today is July 9th. I'm Selena Cyber in Wisconsin. I am here with
Andre the Firestarter, the Torch, Robinson. What's going on?
not a lot. How are you?
It is a very joyous but somber Thursday.
Yeah, it's rainy.
Yeah, it's thundering out here right now. I don't know how it's sunny and thundering all at the same time, but it is. You can hear the rumbles.
Yeah, I can hear it. I want to just give a huge shout out to Delendra yesterday. Thank you so much for filling in for me. You did such an amazing job. You two worked so well together.
Well, how about a great shout out to you, Selena Cyber, for the great groundwork that you did in the field yesterday, Wisconsin.
Thank you. Also, touching on sugar cookies, Andre.
Uh-oh.
Um, did you know on March 9th, it's National Fill Your Stapler Day?
No, I didn't. Ooh.
Okay. Just so you know, March 9th.
Okay. Sweet.
Okay. Yeah.
Get y'all to
And what?
milk.
Oh, chocolate milk? Is that what today is?
Nope. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
it's milk and cookies day every day.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Oh, okay. So I'm going to start today off with world news. You ready?
We're ready.
All right. In world news this week today, a poppin' new surge in coronavirus cases have the Palestinian authorities calling on Israel to close all of its borders. 82% of second wave cases are due to gatherings at weddings and funerals in the territories, while the rest came from Israel itself. In West Bank, the number of cases went from 460 to 4,267 since June 17th. In Israel, in hopes to boost the economy from lockdown, the virus took off like a race car. It sounds like Israel needs to take lead from Gaza, who closed off its border from Israel and Egypt and remained steady at 72. Good job, Gaza. Meanwhile, 60,000 people are working in Israel and 87,000 Palestinians have permits to work there. Employers are required to provide a place to stay for their Palestinian employees to eliminate travel, but other Palestinians have permits to travel through crossings in Israel. In national news, a familiar face on Broadway has died from COVID-19. Broadway actor Nick Cordero died on Sunday. Cordero, 41, spent weeks in ICU earlier this year. He went into an emergency room March 30th with symptoms of the virus. Thereafter, had to have his leg amputated, and then he was put into a medical-induced coma. Few other celebrities who have passed away from complications of COVID-19 are Joe Diffie, country singer, Monica Shipper, songwriter of I Love Rock and Roll, Floyd Cardaz, world-renowned chef, Andrew Jack, actor in Star Wars, Force Awakens. Those are to name a few. In national news, President Trump, 4th of July weekend, he used 4th of July to Salute to America event to defend those he considers American heroes, insisting no matter our race, color, or creed, we are one America and we put America first. He cataloged many American historical figures, including some founding fathers, abolitionists, who made me an anchor before they knew how I talk. The Wright brothers, Ronald Reagan, they said they would be part of the National Garden of Heroes. He smirked as he said, "We will never allow an angry mob to tear down our statues, erase our history, indoctrinate our children, or trample on our freedoms." As citizens in March demanded and debated what to do about monuments that hype up Confederate generals and slave owners, President promised his administration will always protect those monuments. Mr. Trump had something to say about those who were lying about our history and those who were ashamed of who we are. Mr. 45 said that generations of heroes who gave their lives for America when they falsely and consistently labeled their opponent as racist and condemned patriotic citizens. The president also spent a bunch of his speech pointing fingers at China for the coronavirus pandemic. Cases of the coronavirus keep going up in some parts of the country. Blame China for not controlling the virus. China must be held fully accountable, he says. The president remarks on Saturday followed a speech on Friday night at Mount Rushmore, where he highlighted many of the angry mobs who wanted to unleash a wave of violent crime in our cities. End quote. Andre, do you think our president ever seems to focus on ideas on ways to unite our citizens in our country? Or does he kind of seem like he's trying to divide us further? Have you ever heard of him working with our citizens or organizations to compromise the division in the country? Have you ever seen anything like that? What are we pointing at?
I think that big boom that you just heard outside of my window just answered your question, and it was at a perfect time. That boom was in HELL to the now. Okay, I don't. I think he loves to keep us at division, and his separatist ways always seem to show themselves, and especially during the most important topics, especially when we're talking about topics of importance. His separatist ways seem to always precede him. So the boom said no.
Okay. I agree. I agree. I do have another story here, just real quick. Financial safety. This is a real concern. All of us have used an ATM or paid at the gas pump. Always, always, always check your card reader. Be aware of card skimmers. Card skimmers grab your card information and give the identity thief your bank information. It happens more often than people are catching. Some people are leery that if they pull the card reader too hard, they'll bust it. Officials say that's not likely. Identity thieves have to be quick when they're putting the skimmer on because they don't want to draw attention to themselves. All you have to do is give the card reader a good pull, a good yank a root, and if there's a skimmer on it, it'll most likely pop right off. Have you ever seen one of those, Andre? Have you ever seen one of those card readers or know of anybody who's ever encountered one?
Yeah, I've seen it, and I know a couple of people that have encountered it.
Okay. All right, well, I'm gonna turn it over to you in Alabama. What you got?
What's going on, everybody down south in Alabama, all the Alabamans and everybody that's down there trying to stay cool during this season of pandemic. I got a COVID-19 update for Alabama. 2,164 new coronavirus cases in Alabama. It sets a coronavirus case record for today with obviously the number I just gave you, which was 2,164 recorded overnight. Jefferson County added 343 cases, and Madison County went up to 287 cases. The Department of Health in Alabama, as of July 9th at 10 a.m., numbers show 48,588 coronavirus cases in the state. The overnight increase is the highest since 1758. was posted on July 3rd, and those figures were inflated by delayed results. So again, I want to say this one more time. I need everybody to either, if you can't follow the procedure, stay at home. And if you can, if you think you can, wear a mask and be safe, because you never know. The life you might be saving is your own. All right. So we have to do better and be more responsible. We cannot allow COVID-19 fatigue to catch up to us. And it's catching up to a lot of people I see. All right. Moving right along. In Alabama news, we got the arts to talk about, the Alabama arts to talk about, and I want to give you some in specific detail on what's going on in the arts, Alabama. What is going on is that Auburn University's the Jay and Susie Gorge Performing Arts Center created a new live stream series. It's called Talk Back Thursday, which is now broadcast on their Facebook and YouTube channels. The OnPoint Network is also seeking to air this show on the network. If you are a fan of the fine arts, be on the lookout for Talk Back Thursday. This week's guest is Christine Cox. She is the co-founder and executive director of Ballet X. Okay, so be on the lookout, because I know OnPoint Network is most likely going to get that live stream series. All right, Auburn University doing the thing. We will talk more about Auburn University right now as we talk about Alabama sports. But first, let's get to this. The Ivy League made a call to cancel all sports for the fall semester due to the coronavirus pandemic. It was a wise choice. The universities that make up the conference are choosing the safety of their coaches, students, administrators, and fans over playing games. Canceling sports this fall is the obvious choice if health is the only concern. For universities like Auburn, Alabama, and all other colleges and universities in the SEC, it is unfortunately not that simple. Obviously, the games are not just there. Malzahn is set to earn $6.827 million in salary this season, including the $6.8 million coming directly from Auburn University, making him the sixth highest paid college coach in college football history, according to USA Today annual coaching salary database. All right. One of Auburn's assistant coaches is making $2.5 million. Nick Saban is set to make over $9 million this year, as Alabama is spending over $100 million to remodel its stadium so it can add a bank of luxury suites with the multi-million-dollar price tags. All right. The SEC and other Power 5 conferences are not going to make their decisions about the season based on the Ivy League, but the cancellation of sports by the Ivies certainly casts a glowing light on the relevance of college football by other universities. In the backwards world of higher ed economics created by college football, the decision made by the Ivy League is a luxury that other major universities just can't afford. Frightening, but it's true. All right. And that is Alabama news. Now, Selena, real quick, I want to ask you a question before we go to commercial break. My question is to you out there in Wisconsin. I know there's some universities, University of Wisconsin, things of that nature. Have you heard anything in pertaining to the cancellation of sports? Because I heard an interesting rumor today from the Buffalo side, which we will get to in New York news.
The Bucks yesterday, I thought we talked about that. They closed the stadium, and then two of the Milwaukee Brewers caught the virus. But otherwise, Andre, why are you asking me about sports?
The only reason why I asked you about that is because, again, the SEC being the Southeastern Conference, the University of Wisconsin being Big Ten, which is another big conference school, big conference period. as far as college sports is concerned. I just wanted to know if you heard any rumors as far as Wisconsin closing down any of their sporting.
I haven't heard anything. I did do find out about the Bucks and the Brewers last week, but I didn't come across anything about the Badgers or anything like that, or college.
All right. Well, this is Bringing It Full Circle News. We will have that information when Selena finds out about Wisconsin and what's going on there. She will let you know for sure. All right. This is Bringing It Full Circle News. I'm Andre the Torch Robinson. And Selena Seibert is here with us. We will be back with Wisconsin news after this commercial break.
Putting too much into it. Yeah. Let's get this fire started. Sports became my passion. Convo bring it to life, highlighting all the action. Opinions could explode like a chemical reaction. If we started from the bottom, now rise up the newest caption. Man, it's known that every team and every person got an emphasis. But this that similarity that smokes all of our differences. Statements can get real, better back it up with evidence. Prove it for the record, watch this hour of deliverance. Haters outside the lines, but we do it quite frankly. Cause I'm around the horn, so just part the interruption. Cause the hatred they be spreading is an unwanted production. Plus I gotta do it all, and it ain't up for discussion. Man, and blood, sweat, and tears, man, they measure up my act.
We gon' set this off so right. Keep that camera rolling all night. This is a movie, so play your position. Me and my girls out here on a mission. Got 'em looking dead on sight. Can't help but to stare ahead so tight. So bring them lights and keep them flashing. You know how it is, lights, camera, action. We gon' keep this party jumping. Gotta give it a little something just to keep them fellas looking. You know how it is. Got 'em hooked, I got 'em crazy on the music. You know how it is. Let's party all night long. Rock until the break of dawn. We gon' do this all night long. Rock until the break of dawn. All night.
All right. I am back. Andre the Torch Robinson is back with Selena Seibert. We are back getting ready for Wisconsin news. But before we get to Wisconsin news, I want to say tomorrow, we're going to let our voices empower at 6 p.m. tomorrow, right here on the OnPoint Network and Rise Up Family Sports Network. And if you have not gotten your shirt yet, you've seen the commercial, go get it. Phenomenal shirt, by the way. It's phenomenal.
Mine's in the mail.
It's fantastic. Yes. The material is great. Anyway, moving right along. Selena, what's up in Wisconsin news?
All right, Andre, you know what we have in Wisconsin? We have Amish and we have horses. Y'all are going to find out that I love animals, so you'll be getting all kinds of news from me about animals. This is a sad story, though. In Finnemore, Wisconsin, a horse collapsed on Highway 18 on Saturday. According to the sheriff's report, the horse collapsed due to heat. The horse had been pulling a buggy with 3 people in it when it collapsed and died on the scene after the fire department had poured gallons of water on it trying to cool it down. So here's the thing. I'm not trying to pass judgment or anything. Please, 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 if you own animals, try to keep them safe. Not just in heat, but always. Just take your precautions. Because they need it to, like in this heat. I know accidents always happen, but Saturday was a dreadfully hot day. So just please take precautions with, don't keep your dogs in a car unless you've got your air conditioning on. Take care of your animals. Andre, do you feel like maybe this was a situation that maybe could have been avoided, or do you feel like it could have been an accident?
I think the situation was an accident. I mean, obviously now that you've seen it, now we got to take better precautions and solutions. Talked about it yesterday. More solution-minded folks. So we need more solutions and more planning.
Okay.
You already know with poor proper planning comes piss poor performance.
True dat. Let me see. All right. Well, in completely unrelated news, voting in Wisconsin. Yeah, we all remember how that went down in Wisconsin during the primaries last April. And I don't know if you just heard my eye roll just now. I swear to heaven, I can hear my eye roll every time I ponder that time in our state history, voting during the primaries. But anyway, during the election, it shouldn't be this bad this year. 5 Wisconsin cities, including Madtown, have secured $6.3 million in grants to making polling places safer to vote. Our officials are calling on Wisconsin the Wisconsin Safe Voting Plan. Funds will help to secure voting sites, establish drop box and drive-through locations, provide PPE, and recruit and train more poll workers. Andre, question and follow-up question.
Okay.
Do you vote absentee or at a polling center?
Polling center.
Okay. And how old are the poll workers there usually in New York?
In between 40 and 60.
Okay, yeah, they're usually older. I was in Wisconsin, they're usually older, and that concerns me. I'm hoping that they can get some younger poll workers in there this time, so that our elderly are not exposed to the virus so much.
Understandable.
Yeah. All right, continuing forward. Black Lives Matter in Baraboo. After being postponed one day, the Black Lives Matter protests gathered at the Sauk County Courthouse in Baraboo on Wednesday. There were several educational booths and QR codes that led to links for Breonna Taylor, petitions for police accountability, Black women wellness, defend the police, and many more. I spoke with one teacher who would like to see some things change in the schools. Let's see what Mary Mialde has to say.
Why are you here today?
I'm a teacher.
Okay.
I'm a teacher. I see some of the things that go on in the schools. I hear from my students of color what it's like to live in smaller towns like this. And while people may not necessarily intend to make them feel that way, they do. So I think it's really important that all members of our community feel like this is a place for them. If we're going to go with the tagline, greatest place on earth, it'd be nice to put this for everyone.
Yes, thank you.
Because I do think it's a beautiful community.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm sorry.
Mary.
If everything goes in one ear and out the other.
That's all right. That's all right.
Organizers of the rally were all students or recent graduates of Baraboo High School, including Joe Roush, who you heard me interview live yesterday. He said, we need to focus on education in our schools, and he's willing to help anyone learn or get the resources to get education. Before that, though, he gave a riveting speech on the courthouse steps, and I have a video here for you.
We all need to get comfortable having uncomfortable conversations with our friends and our family when they perpetuate racial stereotypes and assumptions. And once we as a nation acknowledge that all people were created equal, that there is justice due in this country, there is justice due in this country, then we can put down our sign. Yeah! Put down our sign. Yes! There will be justice for Native lives. There will be justice for Hispanic lives. Justice for Latinx lives. And justice for Black men. Justice for Black women. We can put down our sign. We have created the promises of democracy. That's a big promise.
In his speech, protesters marched down one-way street around the courthouse, making their way across the river on the sidewalk, down to the newer police department. Despite being met with some opposition and hostility, the protests remained completely peaceful. For more live footage, you can go to Facebook, Bringing It Full Circle with Selena in Wisconsin. Other news in Baraboo. Last night, Delindra told you about the tragedy of 10-year-old Kodie Dutcher found dead in Baraboo. It was something that tore the community up. I just wanted to add something to what Delindra had touched on. Mental illness is real, and you matter. COVID-19 has hijacked depression, and suicide rates have went up. Domestic abuse rates have went up, and we just want you to know it, bringing it full circle, family. If you're ever feeling like you have nowhere to turn, email us immediately at bringingitfullcircle.com at gmail.com. Also, check on your kids because COVID-19 has shaken their world up too, and it's so easy to overlook the symptoms of depression in anyone when this pandemic has literally affected almost every single person on earth in some way. And it's sad to think that we all stand in solidarity in that aspect, but we do. So talk to your kids, remember your kids and what they're going through, and hug.
Yes, it's right here, folks. As you can see right here, here's the number. Suicide Prevention Lifeline, all right? 1-800-273-TALK, all right? Or you can go to www.suicidepreventionlifeline.org, okay? Right here. All right, make sure you tune into that. Make sure you tap into those resources, okay? Tap into the resources for suicide prevention. If you, like Selena said, ever feel like you're down and out, something's wrong, make sure you do that. Again, the life you save could be your own.
This is Selena bringing it to full circles. She did say it would be a couple of minutes. We'll be logging on live when I get the word from my producer with the network on Zoom. So when that happens, I'll probably be leaving my Facebook page and going to live Facebook. Here we come.
Phenomenal job right there. Some more insight right there from bringing it full circle, Selena in Wisconsin. You might want to go visit that page if you want to see everything Selena Cyber is doing on the ground. She's doing a phenomenal job. Do so. All right. That's what I'm going to tell you. Do so. And when we return,
Thank you.
after this quick commercial break, I will be giving you news in New York. All right. Thanks. Everybody, bringing it full circle is back. Andre the Torch Robinson is here with Selena Cyber. Obviously, you just heard that phenomenal news of Wisconsin. Put some likes and hearts in the air if you are on Facebook Live right now for the phenomenal job that she is doing. All right. She asked how could she be an anchor earlier, and I'm just gonna say watch her work. That's all I'm gonna say. Watch her work. All right. Now, you're welcome. No problem. With that being said, we've got New York news, 716, Western New York. I need you to stand up for this in good times and in bad times, and even in indifferent times. We should support each other and make sure that we stand up for our communities. So, To kick off Western New York news, Rochester mayor criticizes Donald Trump in a response to the Frederick Douglass statue being torn down recently, folks. Yeah, they're starting to strike back. Indigenous monuments being torn down has been a staple lately in communities, and now Frederick Douglass statue has been torn down and moved around and played around with by some folks who I guess thought it was cool to do so. But Rochester Mayor Lovely Warren criticized Donald Trump on Monday in his response to the tweet regarding vandalizing Frederick Douglass's statue. Earlier Monday, the president chimed in about the vandalized Douglass statue at Maplewood Park, saying anarchists have no bounds. Mayor Warren responded a few hours later with, despite knowing their flaws, Douglass said of our founders, they loved their country better than they loved their private interests. We wish you'd do the same by providing funding for our cities, uniting us instead of dividing us, and encouraging masks to stop COVID. By the way, if you want to see the tweet, just go on Donald Trump's Twitter, whatever, if you feel like doing that. Do that. But lovely Mayor Warren definitely is not playing around when it comes to Donald Trump and the buffoonery as far as these monuments being torn down. More news. We were talking about voting earlier. Well, we got some vote news here. All right. Vote news here says that, in a nutshell, Chris Collins, the guy who was running, says absentee ballots in New York 7-27 pulled McMurray within 6.3 points of Chris Jacobs. All right. For those who know about these guys or care about these guys that's running in office, yes, Erie County late Wednesday revisited its results from a June 23rd special. All right, special election for Congress in the 27th district. All right, pay attention to that. That is a very important district. All right, in Erie County. Need you guys to pay attention on that. In other news, 21-year-old Wheatfield woman has fallen victim as Tatiana Moore was awaiting the double lung transplant that would have enabled her to keep going with her life and career. She died just Wednesday of a grueling battle with COVID-19. So, again, Western New York, Erie County, I am behooving you to please take COVID-19 serious. All right? Take it serious. It is not for the faint of heart. It is not something to be played around with. I need you to take it very serious. Something else in news that is very serious. See these two gentlemen here? These two gentlemen are now suspended with pay. These were the two gentlemen that were suspended without pay after the video showed them pushing 75-year-old protester Martin Cugino in June. They are now back on the payroll. Robert McCabe, and Aaron Turgalski, 32 and 39, are being suspended with pay due to the collective bargaining agreement that has gone into effect after 30 days. This is normal protocol for this type of agreement. Both officers were charged with assault in the second degree for the incident that involved Cugino and face a maximum sentence of 7 years if convicted. Moving on. More news. And we got a lot of it. Landlord shoots tenant despite charged with attempted murder. Yep. Little Valley, New York is where this took place. A Little Valley man is charged with attempted murder and assault after being accused of trying to kill his tenant. State police say Daniel Landon, 51, got into a physical altercation with 40-year-old victim on July 3rd at the property Landon owns on State Route 98 in Farmersville. During the fight, investigators say Landon shot the victim multiple times with a 9mm pistol. The victim was airlifted to ECMC with non-threatening injuries. Langdon is held at Cattaraugus County Jail on $25,000 cash bail. I'm not understanding this at all. And it's kind of hard to report this type of stuff, but it has to be reported nevertheless. Do you think that it is fair for someone who shoots someone multiple times to be able to be bailed out on $25,000 cash bail?
I don't want to say yes, but I keep thinking back to what Letitia said one time, and we need the system to work for us as well. So if we are ever in a situation, we need the system to work for us as well. We need to be able to be bailed out. In this situation, $25,000 is nothing. It needs to be so much higher. But for shooting, I don't know. I personally, I feel for murder, I don't think anybody should be allowed out on bail. Not for murder. If it was for something else, I would want the system to work for me. But for murder, any kind of murder, negligent homicide, anything like that, I don't think that anybody should be allowed out on bail.
Interesting, because I'm torn about this situation. I'm very torn about it. And the reason why I'm torn about it is because the system is flawed, obviously. I know we say we want the system to work for us and our benefit, but my question is going to be, when does it work in our benefit? And hello, Dorothea Franklin, I see you on here. Thank you for tuning in. When does it work?
Or will it?
Or will it work? Again, we need solutions, folks. All right. Again, if you have any ideas, thoughts, BFI Circle on Twitter is the place to go. Hit us on Twitter. All right. Follow us on Twitter. I have something actually nice to report today. And obviously you see it right here. Ralph Wilson is the guy, the Buffalo Bills ex-owner. They created a Explorer Museum, in which the Explorer Museum just opened back up. It was closed temporarily. I will say that I had the pleasure of working here in the very beginning when it first opened up. It is a very nice place filled with very nice people who work there. You should go check it out. If you're in the 716 area, downtown area, go check out the museum. The museum is phenomenal. It has 4 floors, from what I remember, and they are filled with a whole lot of fun for the community. So if you are in the community or if you're looking for something to do, go check out the Children's Museum downtown. It's a nice place, a very nice place. Now, back to some somber stuff. Obviously, I have to report on coronavirus, unfortunately. You guys, I'll give you right here the map again. I'm bringing it full circle because I want you to have the accurate information. We love accuracy, right? Everybody loves accuracy. So here's your map. Again, Erie County. You see it here. You can get this map. By the way, I'll tell you exactly where you can go to actually look at this map yourself if you want to, if you ever want to check it out. It is erieny.maps.arcgis.com. All right. Check it out. If you want to know what's going on in your community as far as COVID-19 COVID-19 is concerned. There it is. So you have 7,466 confirmed cases, 642 deaths. There's been over 155,000 PCRs, which is swab tests. Total antibody tests, almost 70,000 here. We have 3,379 confirmed cases in Erie County, and the list goes on and on. If you want to look down the list, there's a listing by zip code and a listing by municipality. Okay, all right. There is something that is interesting. I thought that COVID-19 wasn't supposed to live in hot weather. And by the way, there's the percentages too. I'll change these percentages. As you can see, 4.8% positive swab tests, 5% of swab tests done in Erie County, positive. 7% of antibody tests, positive. All right. Now, Selena, my question to you is, I thought COVID-19 wasn't supposed to be prevalent in hot weather. Did somebody say wrong?
That's something that you and I both thought at the same time, Andre. And it has been hot. Same here in Wisconsin. It has been hot, and the cases just keep going up.
Somebody got some explaining to do. We'll keep you posted on that, as somebody might be writing a nice little letter to a certain somebody on how come COVID-19 is still prevalent and it's a hot girl summer, as they call it, right now. I mean, this is one of the hottest summers I've ever been a part of.
It's been really bad. It's been smoldering.
Really, really bad. By the way, again, we will have Rise Up and Citizens Voice next week. All right. If you know anybody in the community who you want to highlight, please send their information to us on our Facebook pages. You can get us bringing it full circle with Selena at Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, you can also get bringing it full circle with Andre here right on Facebook. You can also go to Twitter, BFI Circle on Twitter. All right. And plus, you got our inboxes. You got our own personal inboxes. You know us on Facebook. We appreciate that. And thank you for your support. Hit us in our inbox. It's no problem. Let us know. Anybody you want to highlight. This is what this platform is for. Positivity. We want to highlight you in a very positive way. So come on and do so. All right.
Don't forget to reverse the narrative. Yeah.
Accomplishments, send statements.
Absolutely. That is one of my new favorite things to do, Andre, is reverse the narrative.
And there's the hashtag for one of them.
You guys listen to music from a different culture, learn about that culture, take away something from that culture.
Absolutely. By the way, let's start supporting small businesses too, restaurants too, Black businesses. This week I've been supporting a lot of the Black businesses in the community. If you are a Black business in the community, I'm putting this out there now. If you are a Black business in the community, come on and hit me up at Bringing It Full Circle so I can highlight you. So I can highlight you, whether it's Rise Up or Citizens Voice, let you call in. All right. Don't be afraid to support real news media. All right.
Also, blackout days.
Absolutely. Blackout days too.
Do we know when the next blackout day is? I don't think we do. We got to find that information out.
No, but guess what?
What?
I got an idea. The first person who can inbox me with the next blackout day, starting right now, because we're about to go off the air, starting right now, will get free lunch from me. There you go.
Nice. Yeah.
All right.
Can I highlight an artist that I know about reverse the narrative?
Yes, you can. Absolutely.
His name is Eli August, and you can find him on Facebook. Going to find him real quick. Eli August. He just on July 4th, he sent me a link, and I know him personally. He is doing where I gotta find it real quick. Eli August and the Abandoned Buildings. The building is called Burning Down. All of the proceeds made on the internet, it's just one song. All of the proceeds from the internet go to NAACP and the bail fund. The song is beautifully tracked. It's just beautifully tragic, but that's not what it's called. It's called Burning Down. So we will give you that link, and so that you can purchase that one song. The song is $1. You can pledge more if you want, but again, it goes to the NAACP and the bail fund.
Awesome, definitely. By the way, shout out to my brother Joff Burst, who's doing phenomenal music in the community. Want to shout him out, definitely. If you have not checked out his music, Joff Music is the place to check him out at. There's one thing I want to comment on before we take off tonight. Davina, what's going on? Miss Jackson, how are you? I would love to get you on Citizens Voice next week. All right, Davina, Miss Jackson, come on. Citizens Voice is calling you. All right. Tom Casey said, can we discuss the children killed this year in comparison to police shootings? I think it will be an eye-opening to a show. Sure, no problem. In fact, next week, Monday, what is it? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? Darn. I wish we did this every day almost. I really do. I wish we did this every day, Monday through Friday. But nevertheless, we are working on some things. So stay tuned to that as we continue to work. Me and Selena continue to work. And shout out to the OnPoint Network and Ms. Davina Peterson, who phenomenally does a great job with what she does with the network and the shows. We appreciate you as well. And everybody who supports too. I think that would be phenomenal to start off the show next week. One of the news broadcasts next week with that. That would be great. So TC, you may get your dream. Your dream may come true next week. All right. We got anything else to talk about today, or?
I don't think so. I think we covered it all today.
Awesome that we covered it, and we did a pretty good job. Selena, you're phenomenal.
So are you, Andre. High five.
All right. You know what this is. Continue to support. All right. Support
and
it.
Be positive.
Yes. Positivity is very key. All right. Let's continue to move in positivity. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. And of course, you know what this is. Bringing it full circle.